If you're thinking of working for Amazon, or if you're working for Amazon and you're thinking about quitting, here's the video for you. Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about my experiences and why I quit within 3 months of working this job. So let's get into it. Let me tell you something. In order to work for this company called Amazon, for your third party vendor, you have to have the patience of Mr. Miyagi. Like literally, you have to have the Zen of Master Splinter, because this job will test all of your mental boundaries. It will draw you to the cliff, not a literal cliff, a mental cliff, and you will stand there wondering if you should take your descent. I'm just going to be very honest with you and clear. So let's go over some things that drove me nuts when I began this job. Van checks. When you first get your van assigned to you, they're going to require you to check the vans. Now, this process wasn't bad at first. You go around the van physically, you look for all type of markings, you make sure the headlights are on, they're working, the horn works. It's like a whole big checklist of things that you need to check with the vans. The frustrating thing that happened with me was there were several things that was wrong with these vans. But here's the thing. There's a term that they use where you click on a certain button and it says that the van is undrivable. They don't want you to click that button. In their minds, as long as the van can drive, you should drive the van. And in a logical world where if a car is still driving, but yet it has issues, certain major issues, doesn't mean you should still drive the car. Now, that's just logic I'm speaking to you. Like, this is how they think. If the van is drivable, don't click the button that says undrivable. But anyway, there was moments where I saw so many issues with these vans. Whether the AC wasn't working, whether there's wires sticking out. There was one van that I had where the wires were literally sticking out, protruding out, pointing at me, almost as if telling me, go back the other way. Like, what are you doing? I'm looking at these wires and I'm like, it's right next to the window of the driver's side window. And I'm like, I'm looking out the window trying to tell someone about this because I'm like, should I be driving this? Like, there's wires literally sticking out from the interior. The window doesn't work well. I'm like, it's over 90 degrees. This don't feel right for me to be driving this. That was the thoughts in my head. But anyway, that was one thing. But let's go over. Let's keep going. There's a plethora of other things. Let's talk about the 15 minutes they give you to pack your van with the packages. When I talk about pressure, I'm talking about state exam pressure to pack your van full of these packages in time, so no one else is waiting on you, on time, so you can get out onto the road. They don't tell you how much pressure this is. When you pull into the warehouse where everyone goes to collect their packages, there's a bell that sounds. This bell is alerting you, it's notifying you that you can now step out of your van and retrieve your packages. Let me tell you the packages you're retrieving. You're retrieving your totes. The totes are the big bags with the smaller packages that can fit inside. And then you're retrieving something called your overflow. Your overflow are the bigger packages that cannot fit in the totes. When I tell you everyone is like crazed, everybody is just walking, like everybody's just speed walking to get to their packages, to bring it to their van. It is so crazy in this moment. 15 minutes never flew by so quick. And let me ask you something. Are you good with Tetris? You can raise your hand if you want. You will learn how to play Tetris when you work for Amazon delivery, because getting some of these packages inside of the van is just like a random game of Tetris. When I tell you the first day I did this by myself, it was a disaster. Plain disaster. I literally had no organizational skills. I threw my totes on top of each other. I don't even know if my totes were lined up in an organizational way. I was just trying to get it in. And then I realized, damn, I got the overflow though. How is the overflow gonna fit after the totes? Because if you don't organize your van the proper way, your overflow is gonna be just looking sloppy. And then you're gonna have to take things out if you don't organize it a certain way. They do train you on these things, but it's a complete different monster when you haven't done Amazon. Like, this is your first day that you're doing it on your own. This is when the pressure can get to you, like it got to me. Another thing that I realized annoyed me was the cameras inside of the vans. Let me tell you something. There are cameras inside of these Amazon vans that track every little thing you do. They track when you sweat. They track if you don't stop in front of a stop sign. If you don't stop in front of that white line before you pass the stop sign, which means you're not doing a rolling stop, you have to stop directly in front of that white line. If you don't, you will get docked and penalized for that. They will track how fast you are going. They will track if you're driving too close to someone. They will track what your social security number is. This is what they do. Like, they track every little detail about you. And yes, this is hyperbole that I speak of, but in the same breath, it was pressure. It was so much pressure, because it's like you're focusing. You want to drive fast enough to get to your destination, but not slow enough where you're wasting time. So it's like, where's the middle ground for this? There is none. I'm gonna be honest. There is none. Also, the good thing I would say, I'm not gonna say all bad things. Let's bring up a good thing. The good benefit that Amazon has, they can give you free shoes. Now, I got my free shoes through Zappos. It's like a website you go to. They have you pick out one pair of free shoes, and you could use these shoes to work. I love that idea. I think they gave you a voucher of like over or at $150. So you could order yourself a free pair of shoes. That was the good thing. Let's talk about some more frustrating things with this job. The missing packages. They don't tell you this. This is something you are going to learn organically. There are going to be moments where your rabbit, the phone, is telling you what package to get. You are going to be looking for some of these packages like a crackhead. Like, you're going to be going through these packages like, yo, where is not, where, what? Like, almost like Smokey, like you're just losing your mind. You're just going through packages wondering, where is this missing package? I can't find it. What is going on? You're going through totes. You're looking behind the overflow. You're losing your mind. And then you realize you don't have this package. So now you're freaking out. You're calling your DSP. DSP probably don't even pick up. So now you're wasting time. You're wondering if you should just wait around a little bit, look again, or skip over. These pressures you're not going to understand until you do this job. You're not going to understand how much pressure it is. Because the main goal of this job is to get it done. That's what they want you to do. And I think that's why they hire almost anybody to do this job. If you're a capable body, they'll hire you. If you smoke marijuana or cigarettes, they will hire you. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. They don't discriminate. As long as you can do this job. These missing packages frustrated me like no other. It kind of reminded me of Kevin's mom on Home Alone when she realized Kevin wasn't with her when she went on the plane. It's like, how do you not know that? Like, what? Like, you just question so much with reality. Like, this job had me questioning my existence at certain points. It really does take you on a mental high where you feel like, metaphorically speaking, you just smoked a joint. Like, where am I? Like, why am I doing this? Am I hallucinating? Because I don't know what I'm seeing at this point. Let's talk about the heavy packages that you will unfortunately have to lift. Now, I'm a pretty strong guy, but even some of these packages that I saw, I'm like, wait, tell me, y'all don't give us a dolly? Yeah, like some of these packages literally are very heavy. And I know how some of you guys are gonna think, pick up the package, man. Go ahead, pick it up. Stop being a punk. Let me tell you something. It's not about being a punk. It's about doing things the smart way. Not everything has to be done the physical, hard way. There are some things that can make a job easier, and Amazon didn't provide that for you. I feel a dolly would have been great for those heavy packages, especially for liability issues. I feel like you don't want someone lifting something and having the probability of them throwing their back out to be increased. So I feel a dolly would have been sensible. Let's talk about the extreme heat on summer days when you're working Amazon. When I tell you this sun will lay out on the top of your scalp like a normal beachgoer, I'm dead serious. This heat is no joke. When you have an Amazon van, you better hope and pray that this van has AC. You better hope and pray it has AC, because I was in one of these vans where the AC was partially working. It was blowing out air. It was almost like somebody had ice in their mouth and they were just blowing at me. That's how the AC felt. And then what makes it worse is when you go to the back of the back of the van where the packages are, it feels, I kid you not, maybe 10, 15 degrees hotter than where you're driving. Literally, you're going through the back of the van, you're getting whatever package you need to look for, and you're literally sweat is dripping all over the packages. You're looking for whatever they're telling you to get, and the amount of sweat that you will accrue is just beyond crazy. The fact that you have to sweat this much because the vans, I'm gonna be honest, they don't service these vans like they should. They don't. They only care about if these vans are drivable, if you can get the job done with these vans. That's the high priority right there. So don't get onto this job thinking, yeah, I'm gonna be comfortable while I'm delivering these packages. Nope. Sorry to disappoint you. When I tell you another thing, I'm just so crazed about how hot these vans are, literally. Like, the back of these vans are hotter than the boiler room where Freddie came out of. Like, it's just ridiculous of how hot these vans are and how much effort they want you to put in to make sure these packages are delivered. Like, if you want these packages delivered, shouldn't you make sure your workers are cool? They're provided for? I mean, it makes sense to me. Another thing, this was during the colder months when I worked. So there are going to be a lot of long driveways. There are going to be driveways where you have to think, should I, is it worth it for me to park on the street with the van or go into someone's driveway with the van? My particular DSP were telling us they don't want any of us going into driveways. And in my mind, I'm like, so hold on. Hold on for a second. You want me to walk into a long driveway, a long driveway where I don't know what's going to be coming out of the driveway. Well, let me repeat that because I don't think the DSP heard me. You want me to walk into a unknown driveway. I don't know if a dog is going to come out the driveway. I have no idea what's coming out. You want me to walk and stroll with heavy packages all the way up to the door? I said, hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm taking the van and I'm going into that driveway. There is no way I'm going to be doing that to myself. So I didn't follow the rules, to be honest. I didn't follow those rules because it made no sense to me. If there's a long driveway, I'm bringing the van inside the driveway. Another thing you got to be careful of, like I said, when it's cold, the driveways are going to be icy. And like I said, they don't service these vans frequently. So your tires may be effed up. You don't want to risk going into a driveway that's icy and then you can't get back out. You gotta think strategically when it comes to this job. I'm telling you, because there's things you'll be in such a rush that you won't think of the detriment from your decisions that you make. So think about that before you go into a icy driveway. It may be just worth it to park the van on the outside of the house. Another thing that I'm going to tell you guys about, I didn't know about this, was the routes, the messed up routes they give you. Now, I know there's a system that automatically gives people routes based on performance, but the DSPs can actually choose what drivers can do what routes. And I'm like, my thing is, again, if you know I'm on a messed up route that the general consensus of workers that work for Amazon or third-party vendor, you know I'm on a messed up route, wouldn't you think, yo, we gotta make sure we save a rescue for him? A rescue is someone that comes to help relieve packages out of your van when you have too much packages. Wouldn't you think we're gonna save a rescue for him? He's in a hard area. He's in areas where there's a bunch of apartments or areas where the houses are spread out. Wouldn't you think they would do that? Sometimes you don't get the rescue when you need it. Other times you'll get the rescue when you don't need it. And don't mess around and get too many rescues, because guess what? They will penalize you for getting too many rescues. That affects your job performance. They didn't tell me that when I started. Another thing that annoyed me was the amount of packages that you have to deliver. Let me tell you something. Doing a good job and rushing out of there, or trying to rush out of Amazon and punch out, will get you more packages. One thing they did not tell me was the group packages. This is what annoyed the hell out of me. Like, let's say you have 200 packages to deliver. They don't tell you that there may be a good amount of those packages that are group packages. So the group packages what the group packages mean is it's a whole bunch of houses, but it only counts as one delivery. So for example, there's a house across the street that you have to deliver to. And then you have to walk across the street and deliver over there. That will be considered a group package because they will just name that as one delivery. How messed up is that? Because you, knowing that you don't know this information and then you find out, you will feel pretty screwed up because you feel like I'm doing more work, but yet it doesn't show on the rabbit that I actually delivered to all of these different houses. It only shows it as a group delivery. They don't tell you that until you actually learn it organically. They didn't teach me about group packages. Another thing that I'm going to tell you, I remember the last day that I worked there. Let me tell you what happened. The last day, I didn't give a damn. I'm going to be honest. Like, I was walking, delivering these packages like I was going to the corner store. Like I was walking, I was not rushing because I knew in my mind, this is it. This is it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I am done. Like I heard dogs. I didn't care about the dogs. I mean, I was looking, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? It's my last day. I don't. I was smiling delivering these packages, and normally when you deliver packages, you're rushing. You gotta have like this speed walk when you're delivering packages. I didn't. I chose not to speed walk this day. At the end of my shift, I had a boatload of packages in the van, and guess what? I didn't care because I knew I was done. I knew once I got back to the warehouse. Once you get back to the warehouse, you come back with your packages and you basically they basically have to scan your packages. They ask you how many packages you have left over. And the guy, when he saw me, his eyes was like his eyes bugged out. And he was like surprised that I came back with so many packages. And I could care less at that moment. And I quit that same day. I quit with the biggest smile on my face because I knew this job was not it. This job was not it for me. Now, I want to tell you this for those who are listening to this video still. Amazon may be for you. I don't want to state these things to try to get you to not do it, but I'm stating these things to let you know what to look out for. There's a difference. So you may be doing Amazon, you may be happy with it. That is good for you. Me and my experience was totally different. And I wanted, again, these things that I brought up were just for you to get an understanding of what you may have to look out for and what you may go through. So I hope this video did its true justice. I hope you listen all the way to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.